So Hideo Kojima's Death Stranding 2 on the Beach premiered at the Orpheum Theater in Los Angeles and livestreamed worldwide. Now, it was far more than just another collection of cinematic trailers. This event revealed a real-time PlayStation 5 Pro gameplay, introduced new cast of characters, and broke down the technologies and systems that will define your journey when Death Stranding 2 launches on June 26th. Now, of course, if you already know about Death Stranding 1, you'd know what to expect from Death Stranding 2, and in this video, I wanted to go through everything that we have learned, new things relating to the game, and everything that I have noticed within this live stream. Another thing I want to clarify that I actually did not watch it live since it was, well, 4 o'clock a.m. my time when it began. So, well, I was not gonna stay up all night just to watch the showcase, even though the showcase was about an hour and a half length, and yeah, this would have been quite a night over for me. Nevertheless, Kojima Productions kicked off the show with a live on-stage demo of Death Stranding 2 first 5 minutes. Sam Porter Bridges, of course Norman Reedus, steps into the rain-soaked mountain ranged on the UCA-Mexico border. Now, this isn't just an eye candy, it is actually the tutorial, so you will be relearning core mechanics here, such as of course the timeline that Death Stranding 2 picks up 11 months first of all after the end of Death Stranding 1. The chiral storms and voidouts are gone, but their scars still are pretty much, well, everywhere within the landscapes that you can notice. Then there's new territories. Instead of only being in US, you now deliver across Mexico and later on in Australia, from desert plateaus to coastal cliffs and forests. Now, in the first mission, you escort a baby Lou, an essential cargo, back to Sam's hideout, and along the way you practice balancing on slick slopes, managing weight, and soothing Lou when he cries. And by the time you reach the safe zone, you'll feel right at home in Death Stranding 2's rhythm, and ready for the story's darker twists. Now, one of the Death Stranding 2's biggest changes is the real-time environmental hazards that can strike at any moment, such as earthquakes. Yes, small tremors warn of a bigger quakes ahead. Lose your footing on a narrow ridge and you'll take a tumble. Then there's also forest fires. Wildfires can erupt and block routes, forcing new paths or daring runs through the flames with a special tool. Then there's also, later on in the game that you can notice, blizzards and flash floods reshape old roads, adding fresh challenges every session. Now, these disasters permanently alter the landscapes for your playthrough, and bridges you build may even get washed away, and saved routes can vanish in an instant. Then Woodkid's, I want to talk about the soundtrack. Woodkid's score takes interactive music to a whole new level. He mentions, like, for example, sprint and drums thunder in, crouch and the track softens to piano and strings. And then there's also every choice that your path, your pace, and every time when you tackle side quests, remixes of the music in real time, so it's quite well done. Then Ellie Fanning's voice, this is an interesting part. As Tomorrow, that's her name within the game, Fanning's vocal samples appear in the key tracks, and haunting duet snippets from her makes early previews unforgettable. And far from generic background music, the soundtrack actually reacts to your every step, heightening the tension and delivering emotional payoff. Now, while Death Stranding 1 downplayed combat, Death Stranding 2 arms you with a wider arsenal if you of course choose to fight. So, few examples such as there's a tar cannon, I believe that's how you pronounce or say it, smoother kind of flames or fire curl tar projectiles at the enemies. This heavy tool doubles as both extinguisher and also a grenade launcher. Then there's also a blood boomerang. Sam's own blood forms lethal blades that return to his hand, ideal for kind of a long-range stealth takedowns. There's also grenade pistols and smoke bombs. Compact, quick-draw weapons let you clear enemy groups or cover your escape. And then there's of course the stealth options, so you can use a rope dart, sound lures, and environmental camouflage lets you slip past foes unseen. You know, you can tailor each delivery to your own style, arm up and fight, sneak silently, or avoid conflict entirely. Death Stranding 2 brings back familiar faces and adds surprising new allies. First of all, Rainy, I believe her name is Shaoli Kutsuna, I believe that's how you pronounce it, a new bridge baby handler. Rainy possesses a unique chiral bond. Now she can basically teleport through tar pools, letting you shortcut across hazards and stage flanks attacks. Her calm exterior hides fierce loyalty to Sam and Lou. Then Tomorrow, of course, as mentioned a little bit already, Ellie Fanning. Debuted via a video message, Tomorrow can age or decay enemies by touch, and on the beach her powers reshape reality, helping Sam survive in impossible situations. Then, of course, Higgs, Troy Baker. And returning antagonist returns with more mystery and more battles. You'll clash with Higgs 3 times in Death Stranding 2, and Baker even performed a live-in character song on stage using a custom guitar built by Kojima's team. Then also Neil and other specters. In Realm sequence, Sam faces ghostly guardians, of course, like Neil, now who warped through doors and rained down lava bursts. These kind of multi-stage boss fights blend combat and traversal into memorable set pieces. And then there is Lea Seydoux. Basically, she's more of a mysterious role. Teased briefly, and I quote coming from Baker, "Oh my god, you don't even know what's coming." Lea Seydoux remains unannounced. Fans predict she may blur the lines between friend and foe when she finally appears. Now, for the first time, Death Stranding 2 equips Sam with the DHV Magellan, a pocket-sized hub built into his suit. It's an instant inventory, store gear, check weight, and swap attachments without returning to the base. And then there's also network map. See other players' bridges, auto strands, and shelters as glowing markers, so you can actually use community built-in structure on the fly. There's also base modules, spend Kairos crystals to deploy weather shelters, tar drones, and more, directly from the field on top of that. Magellan keeps you in a play longer and cuts down a kind of a backtracking. And of course, Kojima Productions doubled down on cinematic flair. Aerial mode, it's kind of like a lifting the camera into a bird's eye view to plan routes and spot hidden side paths. And then there's also a weird one, Peter Jackson's mode, a sweeping cinematic camera that pans dynamically without letting you fall during the key moments. You can toggle it off for classic over-the-shoulder control. Now, these modes let you switch between pure immersion, strategic overview, and Hollywood-style drama at will. To prove Death Stranding 2 isn't just about peaceful deliveries, the premiere included a second live demo set in a kind of a fire realm, a lava scatter mirror world where remains and fierce guardians roam. So first of all, Yoshi faced 3 spectral warriors before pursuing the realm boss, Neil, through lava fountains and firework-like explosions. Very beautiful though. You're gonna have a full arsenal as well, such as rope darts, smoke bombs, assault rifles, grenade pistols, and of course tar cannons and far more. What makes it interesting as well is when Neil warped away, Yoshi used his odor deck sensor of some sort to mark Neil's new location and give chase across collapsing rooftops. And a final rooftop confrontation had the live audience gasping as Sam delivered a killing blow. Just one example of Death Stranding 2's seamless blend of traversal, combat, and drama. Now, Kojima reminded everyone if you prefer, you can still bypass all of this by sneaking or avoiding fights. But if you dive in, Death Stranding 2's combat is ready and waiting. Depending on Death Stranding 1's multiplayer strands, DS2 expands how players link up. So, as you reconnect regions, you unlock a second-generation network that lets you summon community-built structures, bridges, autostrands, cable rails, and basically in real time. And then you can link up enough NPCs and players and you gain a personal melon, I believe that you pronounce it. It's a mobile base that follows you. It grows stronger with each connection, providing shelters, supplies, and even emotional support. Death Stranding 2 reintroduces face-to-face safe zone meetups. Sam can sit, chat, and share tales with AI characters, triggering behind-the-scenes vignettes that reward in-person play. These new systems echo Kojima's post-pandemic missions. Digital things do matter, but so do real-world bonds as well. Now, music has never been an afterthought in Kojima's work, but Death Stranding 2 raises the stakes. So Woodkid's tracks were polished into over 8 complete songs, alternate mixes, vocal features, and hidden themes. And to the Wilder, that's the name of it anyway, the song, now features Fanning's vocal voice, as mentioned a little bit already, adding fresh emotional layers to the main theme. And then rumor has it that there's a feature hidden Kojima credit hiding a secret audio Easter egg somewhere on the album as well. And lastly, pressed on 2 colored vinyl discs with exclusive art by Pablo, plus digital pre-orders, the soundtrack drops on June 13th, 13 days before the game's launch. Kojima even popped into the vinyl reveal video to warn you'll need tissues when you hear the full mix in-game. Now, I want to touch on this a little bit as well. LA will be kicking off a 12-city World Stand tour with Kojima and the cast heading next to Sydney, Tokyo, Paris, London, Seoul, and even more global stops. Each event features exclusive demos, Q&A, and surprise cast or composer appearances. And starting in November, and a global orchestra tour will bring Death Stranding 2's scores to concert halls. Woodkid, composer Ludwig, and even Kojima will perhaps be there as well, blending live music with the game's ever-shifting audio. At its core, Death Stranding 2 remains a game about connection, echoing the first title but deepening the message after a worldwide experience of isolation. Whether you're building highways across crumbling canyons, summoning your melon base, or gathering around a campfire with AI allies, DS2 weaves human bond to every cargo strap and swelling soundtrack. Hands-on previews in May of 2025 called Death Stranding 2, and I quote, tighter, more dynamic, and more gripping than its predecessor. And this has little mentions like refined traversal, so you'll have like a smoother climbing and balances, plus creative uses for every tool. There's a cinematic presentation, of course, with the enhanced cameras and in-engine cutscenes and live environmental shifts, expanding combat, a full arsenal, and optional boss fights that rival big-budget action games, even in the surreal spirit world. Yesterday's demos confirmed those impressions, showing traversal, combat, and drama blended seamlessly. And when Death Stranding 2 launches on June 26, 2025 on PlayStation 5, you'll journey through the landscapes for both familiar and breathtaking new. From Mexico to Australia, from soothing loose cries. There's gonna be plenty to see and notice within Death Stranding 2, and personally, I cannot wait to experience it all for myself. At that, thank you so much for watching, like and subscribe. I'll see you guys all, and have a wonderful day.